Mr. Wilson.
Do I look okay?
Mr.
See the shirt I'm wearing? You see the shirt I'm wearing?
I love it. Hey, show everybody the back.
The back. Oh, that's right.
Yes, go big or go home.
Go big and go home. So here we are. What's Morales talking to Chris Spencer, Faizon Love, back on the strip.
Listen, Morales, you're Cuban?
No, my parents are from Honduras.
Honduras.
There's the other
Faizon is Cuban.
So here we are. We're talking about your film. Talk to me about Chris. You know, directing this movie. It's not an easy feat. Talk to me about putting together a comedy film and making it right so that the laugh meter stays constant.
It was easy with this group of guys. Faizon Love, of course, you know Love. You write songs about him. Gary Owen, Bill Bellamy, JB Smoove. It was a gift. You know what I mean? That I could call these guys and they said basically yes without reading the script. Like they heard the concept, they heard who they were going to be, and they already had ideas. Tiffany Haddish, I've known since she was 15 years old, so that was a yes. And then the producers actually brought us our GOAT, Wesley Snipes, who actually heard the concept as well and gave us a yes. So it was a magic. Every day was magical. So magical that when we told people and cut your rap for the day, they would stick around. Yeah. Right. And more who you know from Creed and All American and even the Wonder Years, which I should have mentioned. I did mention. He's our lead and he's absolutely dynamic as this lead character who falls in love with the young Raigan Harris.
The Wonder Years?
Huh?
The Wonder Years?
What, the black one.
You know, people forget that's some. You know, if you're not watching TV, you don't know what's on. So Faizon's a little slow in the game.
Wonder Years is back.
But is Spence the black kid in that?
No. He plays one of the kids on the show, but he's not the lead kid.
I was about to say, I'm like, am I getting that's just old. I'm old.
Well, we all old.
You know, Faizon, you know, you've been working good for a good minute. Obviously, you know, you have a bunch of friends in this movie. Was it an easy yes for you to come into this movie and do as much as you did?
Yeah, it's Chris. You gotta understand how I got most of my jobs are friends. People write for me like Chris.
Relationship.
So you can't. Yeah, relationship. You can't really say no to somebody who believes you will see something that other people don't. Like Chris was like, and he showed me the mock-up, and I was like, hell yeah. And that's most of all of my work has been like that. It's never been an agent like, hey, would you like to do a movie? It's been really just relationship.
Yeah. So, it's kind of the basis for this movie because these guys get back together, as you saw, based on their camaraderie and relationships that they've had with each other. They love each other, and although there's some discrepancies, they were like dying to work together again, which is ironic, which is a true testament to who my friends are, who play the chocolate chips. They were dying to work together. They've worked sporadically. They've done shows in theaters and clubs across the country. And, you know, Faizon, JB, and Tiffany, they all work together on Real Husbands of Hollywood, a show I co-created with Kevin Hart. But we've all never been in a movie together. You know what I mean? We've been in club together. We played the celebrity basketball game together. We've been on, you know, we've been around each other forever, but never in one sitting. And we thought that this would be, this unique situation would be perfect for these four guys.
Now, do we have a Hitchcock moment in this movie? Is there a point where if you blink, you're in it?
I mean, yeah. I had to get my SAG dental up.
You know? You know, but when you have this many comedians in a movie, the hardest part is, you know, making sure that the script is right for everybody's role. You know, did you give a lot of these guys the latitude to ad-lib if they wanted to punch up the scene?
Well, here's what's great about these guys. All of them are great actors. You know what I mean? A lot of times when you're green as a comedian, they put you in a movie so you can bring that fun, that spark. But I didn't have to do that to these guys. As you see, there's a very, very large dramatic tone throughout this whole movie. Like, we're not just bouncing off heads and coming in doing cartwheels and making people laugh. Like, there there are 3 or 4 different dramatic stories going on at the same time with them being comedic as these dancers. And so that's why this cast was perfect, because not only are they funny, they're great actors. They know subtlety, they know nuance, and of course, they know funny. And with Tiffany, of course, you've seen her. She's the it girl, you know what I mean? And for her to be with all this testosterone, she held her own, as well as Raigan Harris and Colleen Camp and Ermelinda Adams.
Karen Ward.
And that was my next sentence, Karen Ward. Karen Ward was so good, Faizon put her in another movie.
How about that one?
So Faizon, what's that feeling like, when you're in this movie, the director, half the cast, and so when you're working opposite them, especially like when you're working opposite JB and Karen, is it an easy feel when you're doing your lines as opposed to like you don't know how you're gonna bounce off each other and establish chemistry?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, this was easy and hard because we're like family, and everybody's got and there's a certain kind of don't fuck this up because you'll be the weakest link and everybody's tight. So I this is my first time with meeting Karen, and she was so tight. I was like, wow. But I had worked with her husband years ago as a director, and she was a fan. It's like JB was, it's like JB's game is tight, so you don't want to fuck it up. So, but we were all. It was like being at a camp. When you're a kid, you go to a camp and you guys are all having fun, and you don't want to be the guy that goes, "Didn't I tell you to stay away from the goddamn bushes?" You don't want to be that guy who gets scolded. You know what I'm saying? But it was just all love, to tell you the truth. It was nothing negative about it. And I was like, this movie's too happy. Like there's nobody fighting.
He calls it camp, but if it would be Avengers camp, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We assembled some superheroes, and they all work together.
Before I let you go, because we're running out of time here, Chris, obviously when people see your name and they associate you obviously being a comedian, being an actor, not so much as a director. We want to make sure this is not a one and done for you. What's your learning curve from doing this movie that we can see more of you behind the scenes?
With the success of this, and even without the success of this, my new moniker is Director Chris Spencer. That's it was, I've worked on so many award shows where I've directed the B-roll, I've done commercials, I've done some semi-porn, but it wasn't really. And I've always had this natural knack for being bossy. And so now I found out that they're gonna pay me to be bossy and I can be funny. Oh yeah. So I'm a director for life. I'll still do the other things, but this is definitely a feather in my cap. And so
you gotta understand that. Not to cut you off, Chris, but I did want to cut you off. Most British comedians are. You ever heard of Woody Allen? Yeah, he's a director. I mean,
I need to name one more.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy directed too. So yeah,
Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor. Yes. George Carlin.
I forgot. Listen, he's an encyclopedia when it comes to anything entertainment. So I was just teasing him because he only said one.
I know, not just one, not just one.
Yeah, there's. I mean, trust me. So it's a natural progression because directing is a perspective, and comedy is a perspective. So that it's only natural for him to be a director. He's got too much. He's got so much energy. I mean, we be going on for 12 hours, 110 degrees. He's still running around. Well, I can't put my shadow here. I'm like, would you sit your ass down? Let's take a break.
Snicker came out with a candy bar with almonds, and I use that as sugar to keep me going. I'm allergic.
Hey, congrats on the film. Congrats obviously Faizon on the road. Glad that you guys are able to speak.
Go big
You
or
know,
go home. Show them the back of your shirt again. Back of the
you
shirt.
know, go
1800
go big and go
screens.
home.
Go
Big and go
big
home.
or go home.
You
Or
know,
sound like
like
he almost did.
we'll make it shirt. This is the first time I'm actually wearing this, so I'm definitely gonna rock it because it feels good. You know,
You look
sometimes you
good
get
in
these
it, young
shirts and it's
man.
tight,
You
huh?
look
You know, so we'll
I
make
don't
it
even have
work.
one of those shirts.
I'll wear this in the streets. I mean, people say, "What's that?" Well, that's a movie coming out. You know, find a local bodega. Wait a week. Oh, be on Fire Stick. No, I'm just kidding.
Bodega.
You know,
We got it.
you know, look for the can version. You know, but hey, we'll make sure that hopefully people know about this movie. Sometimes it's not about how how much money it makes. It's all about awareness. At the end of the day, you want people to
I don't
know
know who the
you
fuck
made a
told
movie.
you that. No, it's about how much money we make.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't give us no cliche. We need money first weekend.
Yes, we'll make it happen. I'm gonna let you guys go. Take care of yourselves. We'll
Yeah.
talk down the road. Take care.
Yes, sir.